All right, welcome, folks. We're doing a kind of a change in topic today. On Wednesday I said we would probably be doing Megalomorpha, but then this came up, and I thought it would be a fun idea for a stream. So, yeah, welcome, folks. First of all, who's here? Sora, Anachronism, Puma. Sombrero, who else? Vampiric Boy. Welcome, folks. Okay, so today's idea came in a chat with Luke Baker, aka Space Macchiato, who I'm gonna share the link to his Twitter because is an amazingly talented artist. And we were chatting like, oh, we should do a collab of some kind. So we chatted through a few ideas and ended up with doppelgangers. So kind of, you know, a different take or around our own take on this sort of, you know, creature that can camouflage itself as human and live among us. And there I said it. But yeah, we've been chatting through a few ideas, and we got a concept that we think will be fun. So Luke will be doing some like medical sketches, some like old school posters, that kind of thing, and I'll be doing pictures. So we're both taking this like concept and expanding a little bit of the lore in our own ways. So definitely go follow Luke. If you don't follow him already, he is amazing and you should. And just to explain the concept a little bit, let me quickly go to and show you real quick with what Luke already showed me. I hope Luke doesn't mind me just posting it on here. But the idea is to make, you know, that transforming human kind of stretching in weird ways when you're not looking at it. So the idea is that these doppelgangers, they kind of live in society trying to pass themselves as humans. They can only change an identity when they kill another person, so they gotta like kind of consume them to gain their identity, and when they've assumed an identity for a long time, it starts like glitching a little bit, like it starts failing. And since, you know, they have to hop around, whenever they either get bored of their identity, or they stop getting maintained, or it starts glitching out, so they have to change it. They also choose to live as, you know, kind of like in a way like social parasites. Like they try to live either as like very high class people, or children, or infirm people, like people who are going to be maintained by others. Essentially, they're kind of like abusing people's kindness, or, you know, the systems that exist in society to essentially like get fed for a few years and then disappear again. That's basically the concept. This I couldn't get through the Mandela catalog. It's not my thing. I know there's like a doppelganger thing, but that's definitely not like an original concept. It's just one of thousands of iterations on it, so I think we're still justified on doing it. Also, hey Mectel. Okay, so that's the basic concept. Hey Iota. Have I seen Gemini Home Entertainment? Not the whole thing, but I've seen a few of them. And for the picture side of it, Luke will be doing some like post-mortem sketches. This is just a quick concept that he showed me, just like the skull after death. Like after one of them dies, it just starts like glitching and stretching in weird ways, and there's like a doctor trying to describe that. On the living side, I'll be doing the pictures, and I found a bunch of images from, you know, the kind of like portraits that were done all in a row in a single negative. This was like a way of making photography cheaper. So there were some photographers that specialized in this kind of thing, and thanks to that we got quite a few images of this thing. And specifically, we got a very, very strange and specific type of photography, kind of a gimmick thing that came about in the late 19th century, and it was called autoportrait tournant, like turning self-portrait, essentially. And there are very, very few surviving examples of this. I managed to find this one, super, super rare. I could only find a few images from it on the internet, so I managed to find this one, which is the only full body one that I've seen. Other than that, we got a couple face only ones. There's this one and another one I guess I haven't downloaded. And then we got just a series of portraits. I think the turning ones are a bit better, because what you can do is, after you've edited all of them, not necessarily all of them, but just edited a few of them, you can put them together as a little animation. Surprised that you found more than one. It took a lot of searching. It's essentially a lot of what I did yesterday night. Just look through these. New GIF idea. Yeah. Depending on the pictures we use, we might do a little GIF. Spinny mode. So if you've seen the tweets I've put in the announcement, we go to the browser real quick. That's like the original turning self-portrait. There is a GIF version of it, which is funny. So that's the one I put in a tweet. By the way, I always put out these tweets just as I start streaming, and him spinning, it's great. I delete them after the stream, so there, if you want to share them, they won't clear up your profile. Okay, so this is a spinning self-portrait. Let me try and find this one, because I think it's the one I forgot to download. But I think I probably saved it in one of my little lists. Hold on. Okay, here I got this one. I don't know if this is the full size one though. Also, thank you guys for the follows. Barrel Deer, Doubtski, Blood Rose Ninja, welcome folks. Need to go home, so I'll be back in 30 minutes. Okay, agent, I'll see you later. Okay, so let's try and find the highest quality version of this. This guy was called Félix Nadar, and he was like a very quirky photographer who got into legal battles over the name Nadar because he made it up and it was kind of a brand name. I don't know why I came across that weird bit of French photographer drama, but hey. Autoportrait tournant. Okay, this one, biggest quality you can get is... Okay, that's the one I got. I would like, ideally, to get a bigger one if possible. Like, the biggest scan we can get. That way we can like zoom in on each individual corner, edit them, and then make them into the GIF. Oh, we got constructive criticism. Let me check. Ooh, we got a lot of mushrooms. I love that. What you gonna make there? Work in progress piece. I like your thoughts so far. Hey, thank you so much for the Prime sub, Demon Lollipop. So what I would do for now, but I guess this is work in progress, so these might be things you still got to do. I would paint, and I can recognize this texture, by the way, from Sacrificial Altar. That's great. So on top of these textures, I would paint either with a normal layer, maybe with a soft light layer, and kind of just paint the lighting yourself on top of those textures to kind of adapt them to the surfaces they're in. So, for example, this here, it feels a little bit flat, you know, like it feels like a JPEG that's been posted on there, and that's something you can get when you do that photo bashing. So it's always good to go over the photo bashing and just paint your own shadows. So that's essentially what I would do on all the photo bashed areas. Hey Jesus. Lime mold theme forest. That's fantastic. Great job so far. Let's keep looking for the turning self-portrait. Let's see if we can find anything better. Sort by biggest image. Apparently Alamy has a bigger image. I hate when stock sites kind of save the biggest images. But no, it's actually smaller. So Alamy is here, so you can see how scummy these sites are. It's taken a public domain image. This public domain, this is from, I don't know, let's see how old it is. 1865. It is 1865. It is very, very clearly in the public domain. And this site is trying to sell you this for $11 for personal use, but way more for commercial use. Like, how are you trying to sell something that's in the public domain? Hey Kobo. Publicdomainreview.org. I don't know what. Here's the GIF again. I think those are just from Wikimedia. Yeah. So I don't think we'll get anything bigger than this, unfortunately. So that's as big as we're gonna get. That's fine, we'll try to work with it. We'll have to probably add our own little bit of noise, a little bit of texture to make up for the difference in quality, but hopefully it won't matter that much. So we have 3 of this turning self-portraits. The fun thing about these ones is they can really easily be made into a spinning GIF. But it's also, the 3 of them are, well, these, no, these are different people. Okay. It's just 3 different guys. I would kind of like to show, like, I don't know, or different people. So we have these series of portraits which can't be made into a GIF that easily, unless all the portraits are pretty close to each other. If they don't change their poses dramatically, you can probably do it anyway. So we could give that a try. Like these ones, for example, feels like it could work, except for these 2. Maybe you could get these ones here and put them in a 2x3 grid, some kind. Yeah, there are some beautiful dresses from the time. Of course, we're talking like, most of these are like French royalty and that kind of vibe. Also, look at what I found while I was looking for pictures. Completely unrelated, but look at this good boy. This was apparently the poodle from the French Empress back when Napoleon, I think Napoleon III or something like this. It's just a historically significant dog, I guess. Okay. No pants. Yeah, yeah. The haircut is really weird. It's just cut down here. I don't know. Strange, but well, maybe it was the style of the time. I guess something like that. The no pants style. Also, if you guys saw, I posted the Fresno Nightcrawlers today and Nessie yesterday. They got a couple edits since you guys saw them on Wednesday when I made them. Mostly the Fresno Nightcrawlers. They got some lighting edits, but if you guys want to see them, where's the browser? Here's the final version with a little bit of lore. Possible sighting of the Fresno Nightcrawlers, spotted in California's Central Valley. That's where Fresno is. The witness reports around 15 of these creatures walking down the road, undisturbed by her presence. Biologists were called, but were only able to find decaying fungal clumps in the area. So we're going for that lore we kind of made up on the spot the other day, where the Fresno Nightcrawlers are just like walking spores. I explained it a little bit below. In this take on the Nightcrawlers, they are walking spore carriers that allow fungi to spread. And their heads, quote unquote, are sugar storage, and their legs work independently and automatically, allowing them to walk until they trip or run out of energy. And no, they're not sentient, because people were asking if they were friends, and I'm like, no, they're just walking spores. They can't be your friends, they just put one foot in front of the other. And if you didn't see the one I posted yesterday, that is Nessie. I guess if you missed the stream, you might be confused. That is a specific take on Nessie, based on a sighting from 1932, 1 year before Nessie became a kind of media sensation. So this was seen by Lieutenant Fordyce, that described it as a cross between a large horse and a camel, with a hump on its back and a small head and a long neck. So yeah, it was a fun little take. The Fordyce Nessie, and I encourage everybody, I'm just taking this little opportunity to encourage any artists in chat to do their take on the Fordyce Nessie, because there are literally 3 images of it online. Only 3 images of it exist. The one I made, and before that, this one here from the original article where it was talked about, and another one made by Darren Naish himself, who was the one that brought this story and this sighting to my attention. This obviously Darren based it on this one, so, and I based it on this one as well. So we're all using the same reference. That's why they ended up looking so similar. And so there's only those 3 images and these little group of sketches, which is really cute. That's the only things that exist on the internet. So y'all, if you do Fordyce Nessie sketches, that you will be one of the very few people that have done it ever. So give that an opportunity. We gotta make an animated Nightcrawler emote. That's a great idea. Yeah, I should note that down. You note that down in my little notebook. I like all my emotes to be made by each by a different artist. So we'll find another. I'll ask another one of my friends to make a little animation. Maybe Matt, human person. He's done some some stuff for Q's channel, so. And he has a very cute style, so it might work very well for an animated Nightcrawler. But yeah, that's definitely a great idea to have a little animated Nightcrawler. I was expecting it to use my pictures, so I would be terrified on my way to work. Said it just made it super cute. Oh, that's you, Lollipop, of course. This image, the background image we used for the Nightcrawlers, was taken by Demon Lollipop here in chat. So, thank you, Lollipop. Sounds like a fun challenge. I want to draw it now. Yes, please. I would love to see more for this Nessie. Like, it would be fun if Nessie, instead of having this one like canon look, like people imagine Nessie and you either imagine it as a very basic dinosaur, like plesiosaur, if you only know of it like a little bit, and if you know a little bit more about like people who like Nessie, people who've been hunting Nessie, you'll imagine it with a double hump, with one taller than the other, like the big diamond flippers. That's like the most like quote-unquote accurate Nessie look that people who really believe in Nessie think it looks like. But yeah, I love just wacky takes on Nessie, because Nessie is inherently a pretty wacky story, and it's full of little anecdotes, sightings, like pretty crazy people just having their own very specific takes on Nessie. And I think that should kind of be brought forward. Like, we should have more, you know, land Nessies and cephalopod Nessies. Try to do sketches when I come back from the movies today. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's also like a nice opportunity, because right now, if you look for 40s Nessie on Google, you get like pretty much nothing. You get, this is not even 40s Nessie. The only thing you get is this one. Now this one. Hey, I appeared. I literally, okay. It took me a day to appear on the 4th result of the words for this Nessie. Like that is that is just you know, that's how easy it is. And I guess like you even get other unrelated things I've retweeted recently in the Google searches. That's how unknown it is, and that's it. There you go. That's all of For This Nessie. All the rest, if you keep looking for more, it'll just give you completely unrelated stuff. So if you do that, you're like you're gonna appear on the first results, like pretty much. You're assured to. So yeah, good opportunity to get some art on the first page of Google, at least on one search of Google. The origin story of Nessie is nuts. Yeah, it's such a fun story when you read about it. I'll take this little moment to convince people to go read Hunting Monsters by Darren Naish, who's Tetsu on Twitter, who you should also follow on Twitter, because he's a paleontologist who was the one, like the main consultant behind Prehistoric Planet. If you saw that, it's amazing. And he's made some books, a couple very good books on cryptids. He's made Cryptozoologicon, I think I'm saying that right, which is kind of like a bestiary on cryptids, and like a biological take on cryptids. Very speculative, very fun. And he's done Hunting Monsters, which basically covers a bunch of well-known cryptids, and not only their stories, but like the stories of the people who claim to have seen them, or their defenders, and he like really gets to the bottom of things, which is, it's really good. I think it's like the ultimate take on cryptids. It's very hard to do it better than he does. Also, it's like a reputable scientist doing it, which gives him an extra layer of believability. So it's Hunting Monsters by Darren Naish. You can only get the ebook now because it's out of print. Have you ever done or considered doing a cryptid image based on Japanese kappa? I haven't really considered it, and since I'm not super familiar with it, I know like some stories, but I feel like it's more a folklore thing than a cryptid. There are a lot of modern cryptids and ghosts, especially ghosts in Japan, in that kind of like urban legend side of things, which are very fun, and I would love to do some of those someday. Thankfully, my sister knows Japanese and is gonna live in Japan very soon, so I have an insider there who's gonna be able to help me translate things if needed. More like eek book. I will accept that pun just for once. Okay, we're getting off topic though. Let's get back to doppelgangers. So let's first choose like one image to start from. Maybe we'll do this one. So the idea here is, first I'm gonna crop it to this size. The idea is to take one of these turning portraits and only in some frames really like mess it up. Like one frame, it's suddenly like the face suddenly does this, and if we put it on a video, it'll essentially, I'm doing a silly sketch, but only so you get the idea. When you put it on a video, it'll be like a turning person, and in some frames it just like something bulges out and then comes back. These kind of things, like it's glitching and mutating as it goes. Buenas noches, Rodilete. Guaje. I love that. Guaje is a very, very Asturian way of, like, it means kid generally, but it's used a lot in general. Really good word. Doing the one frame weird thing for video. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be like subliminal where it just pops in and out. I think there'll be a little bit of lead up, right? So it won't just be this call popping up in one frame and then it's perfectly normal on the other one. Like there would be a little bit of bulge in this one, let's say. And the eye is starting to like stretch out in that direction, and the next one it'll be kind of popping back into place. Like a little bit of lead up, right? So it'll still like pop up fairly quickly, but it's going to be a bit more subtle. Letting children know about the kappa reaching into your ass to get a sphere that contains your soul. Is that with the kappa? I've heard about that legend, but I thought it was another creature. Yeah, there's a lot of fun folklore in Japan. It would definitely be a fun little thing to do someday. Okay, so let's get back on topic though. let's figure this out. This was Luke's sketches. If you missed them before, Luke's gonna do like we're gonna both do pieces on the same creatures, but we're each gonna do like different aspects of it. So Luke's would be a post-mortem sketch of how the skull like keeps bulging and doing weird things with some like residual energy. So we're essentially gonna do this sort of glitchiness. But in real life, like under the skin stretches with it, you know, it's the whole thing, not only the bones. So let's start with Mr. Nadar. Just a little sketch here, but let's figure this out. I feel like if we do a GIF of this, we should start here in the middle, with this one being the first frame. So this one and maybe the first few ones are normal. We don't see anything weird in the first. Consider that we have 12 frames to work with only. So if we do a GIF of it, it will look like pretty choppy, like this. So very simple, 12 frames. It can only be a small turning thing, so we don't have a lot of space to do like a ton of different glitches, but I think we can get like 2 or 3 in here. And good thing today we can do Ctrl Z. If you missed the last stream, I kind of forbid myself to do Ctrl Z, or else I would have to drink, and it was a very fun and chaotic stream. You guys, are you guys just nerding out about Japanese cryptids on chat? We're very far from Japan with doppelgangers, unfortunately. So here's my thought. We should get some use out of the liquify tool and then kind of complete it with our own textures wherever we need it, especially in areas that are going to be like stretched out. I feel like if we're going to start here, if this is going to be our first frame, also thank you for the save reminder because I haven't saved yet. This is going to be in here, I'm gonna call it doppelganger. Okay, so we'll leave these first 2 frames alone, and I think we can start the transformation in this 3rd frame. Okay, here's the fun thing. Well, it's facing backwards. We could sort of have a transformation start here. I'm gonna take a right color from here, for example, where the face starts bulging out, but we can't see a lot of it. At 2nd frame, you can see just a little bit of it. Maybe it's growing. Maybe even grows from here, like it's growing little spikes or something. And then while it's in the back, we can see it like maybe grow a few different, a few different like bulges, something creepy like that. Yeah, definitely save those Japanese cryptid ideas, because that's gonna be a fun idea for some other stream. And that while it's facing back, we essentially have like the back part of the face is like still pretty normal. Maybe we still have we have some hair like climbing up the bulges. But it essentially just does a whole glitch like this. So we don't really know what it looks like. What's the theme for the growth here? It's just a malfunctioning doppelganger. I couldn't get through the Mandela catalog. Not really my type of horror. I know it has to do with doppelgangers, but it has nothing to do with it, if you were wondering. Sorry to disappoint. Okay, we'll have to figure out what texture these bulges are. But for now, let's just kind of draw and see what we can do. See what we can get away with. Fasciation in plants. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, kind of like flowers stretching out in weird ways. That's fun. Honestly, it seems like half of the frames we got here are the doppelganger facing backwards. I think we can kind of work with that, like within the lore. Like when you face you face away from the doppelganger, when it's not looking at you or you're not looking at it, kind of like the Super Mario ghosts. They, like when you're facing backwards, they like glitch out and they can, when they don't feel observed, their powers just kind of glitch out a little. And that's why this type of photography is the only way to kind of capture them while moving around. Because essentially, like half of or 2/3 of these pictures are either sideways or backwards. That's something we do have to consider and work with. And of the other 4 pictures, these 2, which are going to be our initial frames in the animation, they're going to be like, I would like to leave them pretty much alone, like untouched. Back is more flat. That'll be harder to notice in motion though. Like we need more motion to show that. Like those glitching powers to make it something more visual, you know? So these 2 frames, we're not really gonna touch them. Marsenio, thank you for the follow. So let me know if the music volume is all right. No, I know it's not. There we go. There's this quiet part, but I got my ears are how do you say it? Like clogged. Like I can't hear much, so the sound might be a bit wacky. So this part could be bulging out a little, but it's already kind of recovering. And there's still a little bit in the front, like this. Also, I kind of like that it looks a little bit like horns. I'm doing that on purpose. So it's essentially the same transformation, just like this part of the head getting all weird and wacky. But I feel like we can still do a bit more than that. And I like how there's a very slight smile here. Like he's just realized, whoops, I cannot let it slip for a moment. Looking at other ones that look did. I really like this one, where just one side of the skull kind of expands, but everything kind of goes with it. So maybe we can incorporate some of that. Maybe this part of the skull bulges, kind of brings the eye with it. And maybe, even at this point, we can see the eye kinda leak past the edge here. And it's like, look at us for a couple frames before like retreating back. Like, whoops, you got me. And right after that, it just comes back. Hey Rose, so tonight we are doing doppelgangers. So in this take of doppelgangers, I'm doing a collab with Luke Baker, aka Space Macchiato, which I'm gonna link again in chat so you guys can go follow him. So yeah, we're doing our take on doppelgangers, and it's these creatures that can, like, you know, pose as people, but they're not fully in control of their powers all the time. So sometimes you can like catch them glitching out and doing weird, you know, bulgings. So it is a rotating self-portrait, it's called. It's a very niche and specific type of photography from the mid 19th century. It was like one photographer's gimmick for a little while, and there's very, very few photographs of these types surviving. There's this one, which is a full body, also very interesting, and there is this one, which I couldn't grab a higher quality version than this. So that is what we're doing. And for now, we were just kind of sketching out how we want that glitching to look like. I feel like maybe we should go a bit more, you know, a bit more bulgy and not as spiky. Like every time it bulges out, it just pushes all the facial features along with it. Oh, what happened here? There you go. Okay, so I feel like we can start with this one, which is going to be the first glitched part. And I'm just going to do a copy of the face. And then we're going to do filter. Then we got to do some liquify. Oh, it did catch the face. So Liquify has a face feature where you can select a face and kind of move its features around. That might be useful because we're gonna, like, especially if you want to bulge things and do weird stuff like that. But that's not really what we're looking for, because we want to go a bit harder, like a bit further than what that tool allows for. And we want to go like that, if that makes sense. Let's see, bloat tool. I'm not super at the liquify tool is not something I tend to use a lot, so there might be some like trial and error here as I figure things out. This bloat tool allows you to move things that way. Now it feels like a little bit like it's starting to bulge out. Which is nice. It's kind of what we want to, so. And maybe as that happens, can it go? Now we can get some areas decreasing. The thing with liquify is you can't just take something and move it like this, because then it's gonna look all glitchy and weird, and not glitchy in the way we want. So you gotta take things relatively slow. And then we'll, like, if we get any stretched parts, like for example the hair here, we can just fix that up a little with some real hair textures. And as for the texture, we're going to lose out on a lot of texture. So one of the first things I'm going to be doing here is adding some grain just on top of the whole thing, which will help quite a bit. So this first one, we get a bit of a stretchy skull, not as much as I put there, but so far we can make that work. And I made this in a new layer so we can check the differences. This is essentially just gonna be like liquify, but going crazy with the liquify essentially. Oh, also, I set up another silly reward where you get to see me suffer in Photoshop for one more day. If we get to 120 subs at any point, we'll have to do a whole edit, like a whole stream, while editing only with my left hand. So I'll change hands, right? I'll do the keys with my right hand and the tablet with my left one. I am obviously right-handed, so that should be chaotic and silly. Watching Island Boy look at 5 people on a Friday night. Good vibes. Exactly. Okay, what we'll need is some patches of skin to help the bulging here, because we can't just have hair. So we're gonna need, let's see, let's figure something out. Let me get this. Like a fairly clean patch of skin, not much else going on. Don't tempt me. I've been having a lot of fun with, you know, silly self-limitations on Photoshop. They make for fun streams, they make for fun edits, they change things up a little bit, so I like that. You're drawing with your non-dominant hand right now? What for? Are you training or are you just checking to see how it feels? We could just directly use this as the bump, actually. I feel like we need to lead into it a little. Liquefy. My friend was left-handed, but her religious grandma forced us to use her right hand. Really? In nowadays? Didn't know that was still a thing. No, for example, my father is left-handed, and as a kid, he was also forced to use his right hand for a while, but that didn't last for a long time. Like that thing went out of fashion when he was a kid here in Spain. So we're gonna need to fix up a lot here. I find that sometimes my ideas come out better with my non-dominant hands. Interesting. Never thought about it like that, Chaos. Sounds interesting. So is that a thing in America still? The whole like, left-handed people are of the devil. That sort of thing. Okay, now my dude has a big bump on his head. It's not as spiky as I drew it, but I feel like it works better if we go less spiky. So we can keep going with that. Hey, Sean Twitch call. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Welcome. There we go, trying to get a more natural edge there. So again, for those joining in, there's going to be an animation where we take this turning self-portrait, which was a thing. And the first 2 frames are okay. Suddenly it starts bulging out as he turns around. The more he turns around, the crazier it's going to get. And finally, when he turns back, it's normal again. You're just too sinister, exactly. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do a very slight edit to this one. So I'm just gonna take, like we've done for the others, I'm gonna take that, liquefy. I'm just gonna go to this side of the forehead. Let me go a bit closer to see what I'm doing. Also, the noise is doing a lot because things look very glitchy without the noise. Yeah, just a little touch there. But with noise added on top, it kind of just re-adds the texture. It looks pretty nice. First learned about the connection between sinister and left in college when doing some Shakespeare. It's in Italian, left is called sinistra, so they still used in some languages. Of course, it's like lost its association. It's just become the word for left, right? But up and later, I'm going to the movies. Hell yeah! Enjoy the movie, Jesus. I like to practice eating with my left hand in case anything happens to my right, but I don't practice other things left-handed. I mean, eating is quite important, I would say, so it's a good choice if you're going to practice anything left-handed. Let's go marquee tool. Also, again, related to the self-limitation streams, I enjoy a lot just thinking for a while and going like, okay, how could I torture myself this time? What should I do? Okay, and edit without my left hand. So as I come up with this, I'll put them up as little rewards, because that's fun. Left hand being the offhand, but offhand depends on, yeah, like your offhand is just your non-dominant one, right? If you're left-handed, your offhand is your right, or is it always referring to the left? Okay, this one should go a bit bigger. Run a lefty character of the day on Twitter, really? Great. Switch to using PC mouse with your left so you don't strain your right wrist too much. Interesting. I might have to do that at some point. As some of you guys know, my right wrist is messed up. Well, it looks like that character's head. Let me see if the camera can pick it up. There we go. Try to focus it. That thing there, right there. That little bastard. Right now it's just on top, so it doesn't really bother me, but it has caused me a lot of problems. That is a ganglion cyst. It's a silly cyst. A lot of people have it. They used to call it like the Bible cyst, because the cure for it would just be putting a Bible on top and stomping on it, and it would usually like pop it back in. But the problem with this one, I can't really stomp it, because if I do, it'll go towards the inside. Like the cyst will grow, instead of going outwards like it's doing now, it'll start going inwards, and essentially I get into my wrists and cause a lot of pressure there, and it hurts like hell. And yeah, it's prevented me from doing art a few times. So now I take really good care of it. So yeah, the wrist is annoying, but yeah, it's like as weird and big as it looks right now. It's fine right now. It's not bothering me. Sometimes it just pops in and then or pops out and then pops in again a few months or a few weeks later. Eventually, I might get it taken out, but right now it's one of those situations where if you get it taken out, the risks of just having surgery on your wrists might be bigger than the benefits you get from removing it. Especially because it's very recidivant, like recidivant. Do you say that in English? I think so. Because it keeps coming back. Like if you drain it, which I've had it drained like 2 or 3 times already, which is why it's bumpy right now. It'll just come back eventually. It'll leave you alone for a few months or for a year or something, and then you'll just pop back out. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the hair. Like, should we just forget about the hair and have it get out of the way? Yeah, let's do that. That'll make things a bit smoother in general. Also, I love how we're using this guy, this guy's forehead. I'm just using it as our default bump. Let's see, how does that compare to the sketch? Kind of like the double bump look. Maybe not as strong. Something like that, like this. Like it just grows irregularly. And then on top of this, I want to do some hair textures, kind of smooth out the transition. Yeah, like most cysts, if you remove them, they don't come back. But ganglion cysts, especially, they're pretty annoying like that. They'll just keep coming back every time you try to remove them. Not always, but in most people they will. So sometimes it's not something you really want to drain, because it's just going to be a temporary thing. So yeah, I've just had it drain a couple times, or no, 3 total. For one of them, which was probably the most necessary drainage. It was because it was like I was talking about. It was growing towards the inside, so it was causing some like pressure in the area, and just removing it like that was, or just draining it like that was the best solution to kind of alleviate all that pressure. And it worked, but it had to be done with echography, while looking inside, because it was pretty deep in there. Meme Midget, thank you for the follow. And did I say Sean? Yeah, I think Sean already. Thank you again. Yeah, I've had an cyst removed here. I think I've talked about it a few times on stream. This scar here, it's a bit hard to notice, but if I kind of stretch it, you can see it. This scar was to remove a cyst that was here. Don't know why they'd opened it very low, because they wanted it to match my pre-existing neck folds, so it would be a less visible scar. So very nice of them. But they essentially opened up here and got the cyst from here. It was one that kept getting infected. It was very annoying. Still benign, but it is also one of those that can turn malign after years and years. So better to remove it. Just forget about that risk. I do have a cool scar. I can tell a lot of stories about this scar if I wanted to. Fight enough mobsters, exactly. Oh, you've drawn Nessie? That was the link. Or you go to sleep. Put it on the Discord if you want. And you have a good night, Sombrero. Okay, one of the things I gotta do is whenever I do all this stretching, like here. So does this go there? Okay. Whenever I do the stretching, I have to make sure the shadows match. So sometimes I gotta add shadows on like the lower part of the bumps. Oh, I was painting on the main layer instead of painting on a blank one. I'm silly like that. Oh, that's so good. I love it. Oh, you did such a great job, Sombrero. Hold on. We show everybody. Yeah, that's so cool. Wrong layer, Kronk. Hell yeah, great job. And you have a good night, Sombrero. Go give it a retweet, y'all. I just retweeted it on Twitter, but I also put a link in chat. Well, no, the link is already in chat. What am I saying? So yeah, go give it some love. So yeah, we're slowly taking the 4D SNESy from having 2 pieces of art ever made of it to now we are at, there's the 2 original ones, or the original one, the one from Darren Naish, there's the one I did, the one, what's her name, that Wang some look in Twitter made another one, and now we have Sombrero's one. So hell yeah, we're slowly growing this unknown Nessie sighting, slowly getting attention, which I love. Keep it going, y'all. Okay, so let's do this bump and then let's figure out how to put the eye just over the corner a little bit. It's kind of a stretched eye of sorts. Again, I'm just using the marquee tool. Getting this backwards one. Now it's the part where it just gets wild. History is being made right now. Yeah, if I want to be remembered for something, it's for rekindling the Fortis Nessie in people's minds. I kind of want the growths to keep being like steady and bumpy, because I want to match these sketches. So that's essentially what we're doing. And I'm using that little bit of forehead that we got from this one to accomplish that, hopefully. Make it the original, which is a little bit less stretchy. And there it is. So we'll give it like weirder edges, but first we want to have like the structure of it figured out. Yeah, it's gotta be a very fun GIF, I think. If we did our job right and they kind of match together. Again, if you want to see the original GIF of this, I will show you guys once more. If we just take the original unedited one and make a GIF out of it, we get this. So we can make it, if we take it at around this speed, maybe I would make it a bit slower so we can appreciate each image for a little bit longer. But yeah, this would essentially be what it looks like. Whipped cream head. That, but as it goes, it just keeps growing and spasming in different directions. I'm also thinking that we could do something to the body as well. What you're trying to say, Spacey? Yeah, the bottom one without the shadows or anything. Yeah, it feels like they just threw a cake at his head. Okay, so the sketch we did was kind of like this. Was a bit more. It was a bit less bumpy, but I feel like I want to keep it kind of like the sketches here, because that'll match our original concept better. Yeah, kind of like organic growth. That's a good way of putting it. So we want to match the lighting. The problem with this... Okay, let's do something, first of all. Let's add a gradient map on top of the whole thing. And choose a basic one. Let's put that in color. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out half of the layer mask. So this is our gradient map, this is the original, and we want this to match this, essentially. We want to kind of keep the same gradient map. So, oh, hold on, gotta go here, there we go. So there are some blues in the shadows, which is strange, but we gotta go with it. And then it just straight up goes to the browns. Okay, so we are there. Slowly matching this. I feel like the orange here needs a little bit more saturation or something. Not this one here, maybe this one? Yeah, okay, it's somewhere around here. We don't need to match it perfectly. Just well enough that the right side looks pretty indistinguishable from the left one. And this is better than doing just a black and white filter and then adding some color onto it, because then you have different colors, as you can see here. And we can even get the blues there in the corner. So we kind of lost out on some of the blues, but we can recover some of those manually whenever needed, like mostly in the edges. And here, there we go. Okay, now that we've matched this, the thing is, these weird shadows that kind of looked off in color, now they're fine. Now we can just paint with black and whites, and it'll probably work well. So we can do a soft light, for example, and just paint with straight up black, and boom, just works directly, straight off the bat. All the color grading stuff is where image editing turns to dark magic. This is pretty simple, really. And thank you for the save reminder. I missed it while I was blabbering. Okay, so we want it to be kind of like the neck here. That's the lighting we want. And now we want that little bit of hair. We want it to appear somewhere. I just don't know exactly what to do with it. Kind of like stretch it out and fade it in. So let me change the music. A bit more interesting. There we go. Yeah, I'm trying to go for like, as you say, like low density, kind of like the hair density has suddenly changed as well. I think a person able to, or a creature able to change their appearance at will can probably also change how much hair cover they have. That doesn't seem too weird. The music does not fit at all. Yeah, we like to have chill music here as we make horror. Like, I could put up a spooky atmosphere, but I don't think that would be fun for very long. So instead I go for a chill one. Also, this is Too Mellow, who is not only a good friend, but an amazing musician. Too Mellow did the intro music for House of Horrors, the podcast thing I started here in this channel, which will hopefully be coming back fairly soon. I'm thinking next week, if possible. Okay, so now what I wanted to do, I kind of put that in the sketch in a silly way, but I wanted to have like a stretched out eye appearing over the skull. Like here or here. Part of the experience of creating horror is to have the silliest process behind. Yep. Welcome to this stream. Okay, so let's take some eye, maybe from one of the sideways images. Because it would be fun to take his own eye. Maybe this one. So we put it here. This layer. Stretch it out. Hopefully, well, still looking like an eye, or so I hope. This is one of the kind of music I think of when looking at creepy but not scary stuff. Conal Rad, I don't think I've heard it before. Sounds nice. I'll give it a listen. Of course, the things we can listen to on stream, we're kind of limited by whatever is in the... like, whatever is not gonna get us our stream pinged by copyright, so... That's why it's a lot of video game music and video game remixes. Either that or artists that specifically allow their music for streams. Also be some lashes. Our definition here doesn't really allow for lashes. It's not going to be visible. Okay, I kind of want the eye to be looking at us though. Kind of want to feel it like they're staring at the camera for a second before they realize, oh, I've just glitched out, and then they come back to their normal form. Let's try and add some the interior from this eye. Googly eyes. Of course, that was a perfect moment. Googlies. Okay, who's getting googlies? I think the main guy, like the one that's looking straight at us. And it's giving quite, like, pretty big googlies. beautiful. It just looks so silly. Now we give it some soft light on top. Yeah, the googly eye emote is from a few streams back, exactly. I just added it as a follower emote, so everybody can do a googly, but only the subs can do a googly L. Yeah, the tiers of googliness. How was your first stream, Zelma? Perfect. Great timing to come in. Staring straight into our soul, isn't it? I want to turn it around a bit, maybe. I'll have to change the soft light that we put on top, but should be for the best. I very much enjoy the floating googlies on the stream. On the screen. Yeah, we love the googlies. Rental supervision. I love that. Okay, so I really want to look at, like, I really want to see how this looks like when we put it on a GIF, but we gotta wait. Gotta be patient. Soon we will see. Should we do a little bit more stretching, maybe on the side here? Yeah, I don't see why not. We could do some in this frame, which is this one here, so we're good. Let's do filter liquefy. Is it? Oh, gotta go to the liquefy menu, because that'll just repeat the same edits. Okay, zoom in, come on. Very slow zooming in, very annoying. That doesn't look very good. Let's do bloat tool. Okay. Kind of a start to some stretching there, and then we can do some more there. I want to take a copy of this, since it's a pretty good base to do any sort of lumpiness, I guess. Bloat, such an appetizing word. Really sounds delightful. There we go, even more lumpiness, why not? And this one being in the corner is pretty much in full darkness, which is also fun in its way. Okay, so from that frame, we're moving on to the beginning again. As a reminder, this here with the googlies is going to be the first frame in the animation. I kind of wanted to start with him looking forward, kind of in the most neutral pose as the first frame, then go forward, so essentially do the whole turn around, and have this one where he's giving us a cheeky little smile be the last one. Kind of like, oops, my transformation just slipped. Hee. So we're going from this to this, and I think what we can do first, well, first we'll kind of select it in its own layer. So we're going to take that, do a Ctrl J, and we're going to put that on top of everything. And then give it a little bit of this. I tried to light this stuff back in the day. Okay, so you know how this was lit? Very simply. You have one light here in the corner, and the person is standing on a rotating platform. You can actually see that in another one of these shots. You see this here on the floor, this circle. It's meant to imitate like a rug on the floor, but it's really a rotating platform. So the person just has to stay very still as it rotates, and the lighting doesn't have to change from shot to shot. It's taken automatically, actually. Like the shots are just taken every so often as you rotate the person. Floating googlies are the best. The googlies are in the best place when you put them somewhere like in the corner where you don't really look at them all that much, and then suddenly you do any change and boom, the googlies reappear, and you're like, oh, it's true, that's the googlies. Yeah, the cheeky little smirk is the best. Because in real life, you know, it's just a cheeky little smirk. But in the context of this thing, it's just going like, whoops, I transformed in front of the photographer. There needs to be a second set of googlies. Oh, I didn't see that there were two. Okay, next set of googlies, or next singular googly is gonna go here. How about that? Thanks for reminding me. I missed it somehow. Let's try and place it in perspective. Just coming from the side like this. 400 points short of adding another. No worries. You'll get there. Okay, so I kind of want to continue the shape that it has here. Where it kind of has a bump on the side. But now it's like retracting back. So the motion it has to have is, you know, going back to normal slowly. So it's gonna go like this and still stay like stretched out towards the side. But maybe in a more pointy way. Pointier. I've posted your little creature design in the art dungeon. Let me see. Dude, that's the left-hand idea. Love it. It's instinctively confused by the spinning and photograph combination. Yeah, like when you don't look at it, it just starts glitching, and then it realizes, oh god, I'm being photographed. When the eye kind of retreats to the back, it's like, oops, you saw me, and then it just goes back to normal. I love how sometimes you use silly sounds to illustrate. It just goes. Don't mind me. Changing the music. And this, in a way, it's a way of saying, in the lore of this creature, it exists in the real world, quote unquote, like in our world, and it's just very hard to capture them changing from one form to the other, which is why people don't know about them. Kind of like going with my usual style of something that is meant to happen in the real world. Also, here's a question for you. Do you guys see all the stuff I create happening in the same like universe, or do you see them as like, oh, it's all meant to happen in our world, or you just don't think about that? Because it surprised me a bit to see that some people kind of saw it as a Valdevia verse of sorts. It's not a huge deal to me. Yeah, it makes sense. For me, I don't really think about it that much. Like, I try to make it, since a lot of my art is just going, like, it's writing the line between reality and fiction. I try to see it as, you know, this is happening in our world. But sometimes I stray away from that, like with a Nidhogg, with that big kaiju, where I just pretended everybody knew about it. Those kinds of things, sometimes they go out into its own little world. Depends on the pieces. I discovered you like today and I have no idea what any of this is. Well, welcome, Sean. We like horror and that blending between the real and the unreal. So if you like that kind of stuff, welcome. Like, some could happen in the same universe if they're relatively isolated, but others seems to be more suited for their own thing. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Chaos. Like, there are some, like the Fractal series definitely just happens in its own like world, because it's an apocalyptic story. Like, it encompasses the whole world, and eventually, like, we're not there in the series yet, but it's heading towards full societal destruction. So you can't really set that next to any of my other pictures. It has to be its own thing. Thank you, Sean. Okay, so we're gonna liquefy this poor fellow here. I want to give it... Hold on, it's so annoying, the liquefy filter. Like, it takes so long to zoom through it. Okay. So I wanted to... Ooh, no, not good. It's such a clunky interface. I don't like it at all. So let's make that bumpy. There he goes. Can I have a link to the fractal thing? Yep. Exclamation mark fractal. It should be there. There it is. You got a link in chat. No problem. Give it a look whenever you want. It's a short read. It's mostly images, but it's one of my quote-unquote main series, which I've been following for quite a while now. I'm still very much not done with that one. Okay, so we've given these little bumps here a lot of use. Quite useful so far. Okay, so what I want to do here is essentially take those two, since they're already pre-made for us. I want to turn them around a bit. Put them here. I'd missed those. Well, there you go. That's the Fractal series. Glad you guys enjoy them. It's one of my favorite things that I've made. My cat is in my room staring at me in the next room, waiting for nightly treats. Oh no. So, give that cat the pets that it deserves. Come on. If you don't have treats for them, please give them a good pet. Those fractal teeth are nightmare fuel. I love making teeth horror. It's very easy to get a reaction out of people with teeth horror, and I love that. The hopscotch fractal. Yeah, that was, it's one of my favorites, that part of the series, especially with Fractal Crowd, where they kind of self-organize into a fractal. And it was sadly one of the, like, I think the one that performed the worst. It was sad, but that's fine. Don't all have to be bangers. Yeah, but if you guys read the series, I hope you'll see pretty clearly where it's heading. How it's leading towards apocalypse. It's gonna be a fun one, y'all. Actually, hopefully next week, depends on the commissions we might get, but hopefully next week we can get some work done on the next part of the Fractal series, which is going to be about, like, in the latest part we've seen a religion forming and people kind of like voluntarily taking in the fractal and becoming fractalized. In the next part, we're going to be seeing people involuntarily getting fractalized with a new group that I'm going to introduce into this world, which are kind of like eco-terrorists who believe that the fractal is kind of like nature getting vengeance on us for destroying it, and we should like kind of accept it and let society collapse and everyone become fractalized. So they start, like, you know, actually poisoning people with it. Oh, thank you for the save reminder. Gotta try to get a flash mob to organize into a fractal pattern and get some drone shots. So yeah, I'm gonna need more followers for that. Maybe someday though. The first and only Valdevia meetup is gonna be to recreate the fractal crowd. I love this. I meant to be a direct comparison, but it reminds me a little of Liminal States by Zach Parsons. I don't think I've seen that. I'll check it out. Always thought the Mandelbrot set kind of looked like some sort of creature. Yeah, maybe. I like that. Okay, so we're getting back to the sideways view. And we're gonna have those bumps like slowly disappear there. I think we can get back to just using the liquefy tool for this one. So let's go back all the way here, Control J. Go filter, liquefy, I guess Control Shift X. Try to remember that. I don't use liquefy quite enough to know its shortcuts. Might have to fill that in with some textures. Maybe like make the nose very tiny. Oh, and I'll move the eye up. 'Cause that's the first frame. Yeah, that's the first frame where we can see the eye. So since the eye kind of went towards the back, now it's like getting back into place slowly. We haven't seen it for the past couple of frames, but it should be maybe a bit stretched out. Here in this corner. Internet old guy talking about it. No, I love that. I love that old school internet horror vibe. It's very nice. It's something we don't really get nowadays that much. It's actually like, of course, old internet horror, a lot of it was through forums, through blogs, personal websites, those sort of things. Web 1.0, the best web. Now we're unfortunately stuck to the platform internet, which sucks. But I'm trying to at least harness the energy of old school internet with a lot of my stuff, so hopefully some of that comes through. Hey Hammy. Just in time for Stretched Guy. Like, we're at the point where his facial features are getting back into place, where it got pretty weird. Also, there's gonna be an animation. Or at least, like, somewhat animated. Maybe we'll move the nose a little bit as well. The googly eye is very important. It wouldn't be one of my streams without googlies, wouldn't it? Let's leave the mustache where it is. We don't want the mustache to move with the nose. They should move independently. Okay, it looks a bit wonky, but hopefully you can fix it. Ooh, a word in Spanish. Yeah, that's the Vsauce music. I think you're the first person to realize. Word in Spanish. A portrait, like this one, is un retrato. Okay, now that we've kind of stretched out the face in weird ways, let's go to the next frame. Also, this is taking longer than I imagined. I was like, okay, this is going to be a short edit, but no, we're taking our time. It's fine. We have all night, so. And we then have to figure out the animation part of it, see if it works well, and then do changes as needed. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Just gonna vibe with it. Okay, so this one's gonna have a slight bump on his forehead, just a bit of liquefy. Right. There we go. the Spanish R, la R. You missed me googlifying the scary eye. There it is. We love a goofy forehead here. Okay, so we're taking the eye here with everything that's around it, essentially. We're gonna move it up, but only slightly, because it's getting back into place. Remember, it was up here. Now we're pushing it a little bit lower than that. And in the next frame, it's gonna be normal again. And the nose is also gonna be a bit off. Only a little. Little bit of a, whoops, you got me. Let me put my face back into place. And there we go. And then he gets a little smirk. Okay. Slightly embarrassed. Yeah, I think there would be a little bit of embarrassment. And then like, oops, little smirk. Oh yeah, I like that the slight, like the eye is not perfectly positioned in that last one. It's still a little bit off, like from here to here. Just a small change. He knows what he's doing, of course he does. Okay, so now let me put everything into a single layer. Edit it a little bit because we need to fix up a couple things. And we're gonna do some slightly larger grain than what we had to essentially match the original grain, which is not this, it's a bit larger. Pleasant, mischievous gentleman. Oh, and no vignette here, because we're gonna cut each of this into an individual frame. You can slightly mess with the temperature to make it slightly more grayscale. And here we can mess with the contrast, all that sort of thing. I'm gonna increase the contrast a little bit. Just make it generally a bit darker. Increase the creepiness of it. Yeah, that's just a totally normal gentleman. I don't know what you guys are afraid of. Okay, now, how big is this image? Let me see. Let's see, image size 3,500. It's a bit large. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go here, edit contents. So we're gonna essentially create a new PSD. I'm gonna put this, call it animation, PSD, save. Make this guy as a D&D character. Yeah, that'd be fun. Little doppelganger. Headcanon, this guy's chill. Oh, he's very much not chill. He will kill you and assume your identity. That's his whole thing. So, I am sorry for your headcanon. Okay, so now we have this. This is essentially the same size as before. What we're gonna do is pick a frame size. Start with this one. We'll do a little selection of it. Tries to only get that focused area in the middle. We're gonna crop that. Maybe we adjust the crop slightly, a little bit higher, a little bit lower here. We're just gonna tighten it slightly. And we're essentially gonna create frames. Simple as that. That's gonna be frame 1. Just gonna number them. Then we're gonna make a simple GIF out of those frames. That here is gonna be 2. Now we go back down. We're making them in order, that way it'll be easier. And we'll adjust some of the frames individually if need be. Like this one seems brighter than the others, so that might need some readjusting. This should be a fairly easy GIF to make, I hope. And sometimes crop might be off, so we might have to recrop them so it matches what we want to do. Mysteriously, that guy was never heard from again. The photographer was noted for being especially cheerful. I love that. That's a fun take. The last one there. We're going back all the way up. Six, 7. Gonna be 8. 9. We're getting pretty close. 10, and then up to 12. This is only a 12 frame animation, which is where we can kind of focus on it frame by frame. And then we get a little smirk. That's 12. Okay. Are there any creatures that aren't actively malevolent in the universe? Yeah, sure. There's a bunch. Like, you know, the Fresno Nightcrawlers that we did yesterday, or any cryptids or like animals than any other thing. Benevolent? Not sure. Oh, you know what, Sean? We did a. Hold on. Let me show you. This is. Yeah, put this, a tier list. We made a danger tier list of all my creatures recently. So we got some friends. Essentially, none of these are really benevolent or anything. Oh, this guy's benevolent. This is Jethro, the werepossum, and the only harm he does is to union busters. So that's benevolent if you ask me. Mock is a good bean, of course, but I would call Mock neutral. Like at the end of the day, within the lore, he's just an animal. Jethro the werepossum, lovely little fella. Oh, number 3 seems to go a fair bit higher than the others. Oh, 7 goes back down. And 10, 11, 12. What I could do is reduce the opacity of all of them. I don't know if this would really help, but that would essentially tell me if they've been moving from frame to frame, and I can definitely see that they have. 1 and 2 are good. 3 should be way lower. So 3 is this one. Trying to see if I can get a better crop of it. When was that stream? Pretty short time ago. Oh, you found it. Terry isn't actively harmful. Yeah, he isn't. They aren't. I guess Terry does eat like meteorites, so it might actually help clean up the place and reduce our risk of a meteor falling on the Earth. But are there any sirens in this background of the song? I don't know, because I'm hearing my music is very low volume right now. Yeah, they are in the song. Or maybe. Okay, so we do have a little problem here. The problem is some frames, because of how the photo was taken, some frames are higher than others. What I think the solution, and there's no real fix, because it's just how the photos were taken. They weren't like perfectly lined up, if that makes sense. So I think the solution is as simple as making the photo a little bit more square. And we start with this alignment, and then we'll move them up and down as needed. So 2 goes down a little, 3 goes down a bunch. Ooh, this is gonna need a bit more background, but that's fine. So we'll fill up the background of those we need. Now let's just try to be precise in lining them up. It's not a huge deal. I'm trying to line up like the collar and the shoulders. Since that's the most like constant part. Town dipshits. / my friend's mom has the EMT at her house. Oh, sounds good. That Piojo, thank you so much for the follow. I assume Piojo is in Spanish. I might be wrong. I tend to be wrong. You accidentally close the stream window for 5 seconds. Well, you know what? That might reduce the delay a little bit, so that might even be good. So trying to line all these up, that's harder than it seems. Because it turns out they're all lined up however they want. They don't really fit that well. Okay, number 9 is good. And as you can see, I'm trying to line them all up to the first one. So hopefully they will not drift, because if I just lined it up to the one below it, I might just get a little bit of drift to either side, so this might help. Okay, this looks good. And this is the very last one before the end. And we still need to bring it down a little bit. There we go. Okay, so a couple of them are gonna need some... Well, this one needs to be darkened, first of all. Maybe he was closer to the edge of the rotating circle. Yeah, that makes sense. Just because of the camera, because of how the camera mechanism took the images. Could be a million things, but I guess we shall never know. I try and bring the exposure down a little bit. Keeping the highlights up a little. Let's see. That seems a bit closer to the others. Same smart filter for this one. There we go. This one seems a bit high. Trying to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 looking good. 8 looking decently good. 9 looks a bit high. That's better. There it goes. Now let's fix up the edges of those two. Fairly simple, just a little clone stamp. And we should be gold. Number 4 also gets one. And then it'll be as simple as making frames. Oh, this one also needs a little clone stamping. We'll just make individual frames, and each frame will have one of the layers activate. It's as simple as that. Hey Genjis. Okay, I think that's all the ones that have a cut-off top. This one feels like it goes down a little. Oh, now we have the ultimate test. Does it loop well? So from the very last to the first. Yeah, it looks okay. It looks okay. Oh, this title of this song is so long that it covers the the alert thing. Hold on. Should now. No, hold on. Oh, it should be covered. Nice. Fixing up my little overlay real quick. Now, let's see. We go to Window, Workspace, Motion. Create Frame Animation. We tap on Create. Now we can bring the timeline up here so you guys can see it. And it is very simple. You just create, with this version, you just create a frame individually. So, very simply, create a new one for each frame. Make sure it matches the number of the layer. And so on. Simple as that. And just make it loop forever and then choose how fast it goes. Because this seems a bit fast. So we just choose here and give it a delay. 0.2 seconds, let's see. Okay, I like that. Let's try a bit faster, see what it looks like. 0.1. I feel like 0.2 allows you to see the... Well, 0.1 feels like more motion is happening. 0.2 lets you stop and see each image a bit better. What do you guys think? This 0.1, and these the seconds of delay between each frame. This is 0.2. Let's try something slower too. 0.5. This might be a lot. Oh, 0.5 is nice though, because it really allows you to see what's going on and see that little smirk at the end. Yeah, I kind of like this one. I like how the eye slowly goes back to its place at the end. That feels very, very natural. Well, as natural as this can be, I guess. Trying to see if there's any frame transitions that feel too fast. I feel like this one. That is... Hold on. This to this. It feels like it grows too much in one frame. That makes sense. What if, just to give it a real quick edit, what if we removed a little bit from it? You know, that's the thing with making an animation frame by frame, is that you can't really see until you put it together and see how it moves. You don't really know what it's gonna look like, but that is how it goes, I guess. Doing some quick little fixes to hopefully get some smaller bumps there. Now let's see. Let's see how that moves now. Zoom in a bit, hold on. Let's give it another loop. It still feels like it goes too fast, but it's a bit better for sure. Let me now frame through them. Okay, it feels like we should have a bit more bump on the other side in this frame. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cheat it a little bit. I'm gonna give it a little bit of the bump from the next frame. Just gonna add that to this frame. And that feels much better. Now it's a transition. I might even make it a bit smaller, so it transitions well with the previous frame, so we don't like push the problem away to a different frame, you know? Now it looks better. Now it feels like there's a lot of change from these to this, but it's also because this there's a bigger jump, there's a bigger turn between, like this only turns a few degrees and this suddenly turns to the back. Like there's a huge jump there. So I think if we change the delay in this one slightly, like 0.7 instead of 0.6, I think that changes one to the next frame. I hope so. Maybe it would make it smoother. And from this to this, see, that's the problem. We have a very small, it's a very big jump in a very small time frame. Let me also change this to 0.3 to basically catch it up with the other frame, since the turn wasn't like super smooth. Yeah, the full big blob feels like too much still, even with the edits I did. So this one here, yeah. You know what I could do? I could take this frame again and do essentially what I did to the other, like take a little bit from that frame and put it there, to see if that helps fix it up. there's a strange bump there. Let's see. Can do a little manual fix there. A little bit of a turn, perhaps. Essentially like separating that bump in two. In here, answer where I first asked this. When we first found these photos, you said you couldn't really use them because... No, that's another picture. This is not Daguerre. Is also like this taken by a fairly well-known at the time photographer, but probably not someone that would be recognized nowadays, if that makes sense. So I think we're pretty safe using this one. Like it's not one people are gonna go like, oh, I know this guy. Okay, so we essentially made that bump smaller. And now it feels smoother to me. What do you guys think? It also feels smoother with this one. Okay, let's give that a spin. Pretty literal spin. Ooh. Yeah, it does a little bit of a jump with the change in frame rate. Yeah. Let's keep that, put that back in 0.5. Just keep the increased weight between these two. Okay, I feel like now the motion feels more natural, like the growth. Maybe the two frames that clash the most. There's still these two. Like they do logically make sense. We still have the same bumps. But the jump is so large that it's kind of hard to like wrap your head around that movement really quick. So let's see, should we put this? I don't know if the delay is affecting the right frame. Hold on. Yeah, it is, it is. Looks more like the flesh is almost boiling, but I like that. It's good, man. Yeah, like, I feel like the movement would be pretty hectic. And we were only capturing like little moments of it, but... the little smirk at the end changes a lot, right? Like changes, we've changed the context of that smirk to... Whoops, got caught there. I might increase that to 0.7 just so we can see the smirk better. And the motion is still a little bit jerky, like from side to side. It feels like but I guess that's more a quirk of the photography. Whoops, you saw nothing. Yeah. Okay. how you do export. Learn how to export for NFTs. I will never not laugh at that. Okay, and that's when you export as a GIF. I'll try to make it the highest quality GIF possible. That feels pretty accurate. The good thing is that it's monochromatic. So the GIF, the color range is pretty nice. Like it doesn't feel like there's a lot of dithering. Oh yeah, they added a stupid learn how to export an NFT button, which is oh, Adobe, why must you do that? You know what I might do? I'm gonna crop slightly from side to side. I'm gonna try and, not perfectly, but as much as possible, correct that side to side movement that we can see. And we're gonna do something, I should have done this before, but we are gonna try and, why can't I? Strange that this changed colors. Why is it dark blue now? Anyway. Oh, no. Huh, strange. There must be something in the new update or something. I don't know. Doesn't matter much. I'm gonna try and keep it like this, with the more or less the center of the face around here. Hey, welcome back, Anachronism. Save as .scam. I love that. The thing is, all those edits we made, we might lose a little bit of those, but that's fine. Also, does this feel blurry to anyone else? Hold on, wait. I keep turning layers on when I shouldn't. I should be going to the frames. Silly me. Oh, thank you for the save reminder. And I'm going to save this one as well. Breaking my yard while I listen to the stream. Nice, getting some chores done. Listen to the streams in the background while I do your own art. You do your own art. That's nice. I like to do that as well. I like to put art streams while I do my own art. Whenever I'm not, of course, streaming it like today. Which is rarer nowadays. I try to stream a lot of my art. Use the stuff that I can stream. Okay, that feels better. We're moving to the next frame. Do have a little bit of side to side motion. This one feels all right. Same. All good here. This feels like it should be further back. So the cross points at the center of the face. Next frame, again a bit further back. We'll run into a limit at some point, and we'll try to keep it there. Okay. Is it stuck? Feels weirdly stuck. What's up, Photoshop? You're right. Strange. Oh no, it doesn't let me do transform. There it is. Took a while. You're doing your nails while watching this guy transform like a sunbird. You're a knockoff Sailor Moon. You'd love to see that. Okay, let's see now. That feels like it's gonna be a bit better. So let's see. Let's see if that corrected that side to side motion before we export. Yeah, we got some Hollow Knight. Of course we do. I feel like those last two don't work as well. I'm not sure actually. Maybe just that last one. Yeah, I feel like he moves too much to the left. It's probably a bit better. Nice. I feel like we got it right. And you know what? It's more fun to show the transformation as he's facing backwards, because it allows us to imagine like how messed up it must be on the front. Like he doesn't really allow us to see the full transformation. Let's give that a save. Export. Save for web. And we can save that. We could save it as a GIF or as a video. Let's just call it doppelganger.gif. And that is saving. Let's see, where is it? Here. Nice. It's still a little bit jerky, but I feel like we can't really make it smooth because of, you know, how the pictures were taken. Very, very simple limitations. I also want to see if I can save this as an MP4 or something. Your mosquitoes have already landed on me and flown away without biting. I mean, I just crush them if they do that. I don't get them to fly, I don't let them fly away, come on. You want them to bite you? It's an artifact of the time it's from. Yeah. So we can save it. See if this works. Probably it's not something I really try, so. They don't want to bat you. You're lucky. Nation.move. Whoa. That did a weird thing at the beginning. It just kind of and then stopped. It started real quick. Strange. Yeah, I don't think it works that well as a video. Also, it's not the thing about GIFs is that it's endlessly looping, which you don't really get with videos. You got to restart them manually. QuickTime still exists. Yeah, it's a very useful video file. You know, it allows for things like transparency, which not a lot of video files allow for. The mosquitoes trying to bite me through the phone. They're still after me, aren't they? Hey, you know what? I've literally only got like 2 mosquitoes here. I now have a spider friend that lives, there's a window right over there. I have a spider friend that lives in the windowsill, and it's getting big. Like it came in, it built a web, and it was this tiny little thing, and I was like, oh, a cute little spider. And it's been a couple weeks, and now it's a huge thing. It grew so quick. You're too tasty for summer. Yeah, the spider friend is eating good. Also, I keep seeing every time I open the window, because I'm kind of like checking in on the spider just to see like what adventure it's up to. I'll open the window in the mornings, and I'll see little wings, just like disembodied wings below the spider's webs. So it's clearly like eating quite a lot, and then it's just throwing away the wings, and you can see how much it's eaten by looking at that. And my brother is allergic to mosquito bites. Damn. There are entire generations of spiders in my kitchen. I like spiders. They catch the other bugs, so. This is nice. I enjoy the little animation. It's very fun to look at. Okay, so let's go back to view, workspace, photography, which is my main one. Oh, and googly eyes. I can't forget that. So there was this other photo, but the problem is that instead of being a negative like this one, it's a print, and it's a very low quality one. So we can't really do a lot with it, but it's one of the only few surviving pieces of, you know, rotating photography like this one. And this is the other one. It's a really good scan. And it's funny how he has a pipe, not a pipe, how do you call this? Cigar in the first frames. And then it suddenly disappears. But it's weird. I don't know how exactly he's turning. I don't know. Like, what's the order of this animation? Here he's facing the front, so let's say it starts here, going to his left. Then it kind of goes on through here, and then it finishes here. Goes back like this. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know what order these were taken in. That's pretty strange. He ate the cigar. And up to the top of the slide, and at the top stuck my hand in a freshly hatched spider nest. Oh no. Yeah, something's off about the order. And also the cigar, which makes me think these were like two sets of pictures that were kind of put together. I don't know, in any case, we don't have time for it today because this already took 3 hours. But if you want to do more of this animation, like something similar to this one, oh, I have closed that thing, something similar to the one we just did, we could do that full body one because it's a fun little, like a bit of a gimmicky thing, but it's fun. So we could do that full body and have like maybe the arms get longer, stuff like that. But yeah, I think they showed it in multiple rotations, and that's where the cigar went. Recovering arachnophobe, that's good. Alley cats. Well, you can see what we've just done today. And we're exposing our deepest fears as well, as usual. But yeah, if you guys didn't see it before, what happened there? Anyway, let me save that. This is Luke's sketch that he did on the concept. Luke is gonna do the take, like a take on the same creature, but from the perspective of a doctor who found a skull from one of them, and he's trying to like study it and see like how it keeps moving. So that's gonna be like one perspective. The other one is gonna be from this photographer who took that rotating picture and was trying to like identify them. And then we might do some more. We still haven't figured out exactly the extent of it. That's definitely like the two things we had thought of starting with. If you don't know, this is Luke Baker, an amazing artist. It's at Space Macchiato on Twitter, and I will give you guys another link. Go follow Space Macchiato. Mix of thalassophobia and megalophobia. Whales are the bane of your existence. I feel like that's a pretty common one. I would say, well, it depends if you call phobia in the general sense of, oh, this makes me scary, this makes me scared, or if you really have like an irrational fear where you can't get in the water, because two very different levels, of course. But yeah, the megalophobia, I guess, to give it a fancy name, it's one that gets me a lot too. At least as a kid, it used to get me way more. But yeah, Luke is fantastic. He just has I don't know, such a unique style. I'm gonna show you some of Luke's. Oh, also look at this very cute 40s Nessie. Luke just has like such a special style. These are bionicles, which I love. Let's see what else he has. That's a gray alien. That's Cthulhu. I love the Cthulhu. I think one of my favorites, let me see if I can find it. It's from a while ago. One of my favorites is, oh, I love this one, the shark. The Dracula he made. Oh, look at that xenomorph. I hadn't seen that one. Oh, his Nessie. His Nessie's very good. With a human face and a lamprey mouth. Love that. Oh, I forgot to close the tree style tabs. Yeah, he's fantastic. So go give me a follow. Just a great art style. Also, I'm on the multimedia thing, so I'm getting all the pictures of his replies. But Pantophobia. That's made famous by Charlie Brown Christmas. The fear of everything. I was thinking it would be the fear of pants. Anyway, I think we've done everything we set out to do. Watch that little animation a bit more, but it's fun to do animation from time to time. Or it's not animation, but do something like with a bit more movement to it. Because if I had to do this in a still image, I would be way more limited. Pantalones. So it's fun to use this very specific intersection that I'm only going to be able to use once of photography and animation with this early type of photography where they did 3 pictures. Those are the ones that are available, at least, of people turning on a turntable. You're in Spain, right? It's like 3 a.m. here. Yeah. But I have a sleep disorder, so it's fine. Oh, why did that? Oh, hi mosquito. Guess I tapped on the boot button there. There we go. Can have that on the corner. Never ask an artist the day and time in which they work. True, but no, but yeah, I always stream late at nights because of that. The mosquito got through. Yeah, now the turning guy is the streamer, and I'm just the poor little Photoshop object. Get me out of here. Yeah, that's been a fun one. I like doing this. It's different things. Let's see, we're doing art now. Doing iSupport hours in middle school and high school. Late night watching anime. For me, it's late nights doing arts. Honestly, I think if I didn't have this sleep disorder, I would probably not be an artist right now, because art is always what I've done at night when everyone else is sleeping. It's like time for me, you know? There's no one else bothering you at night. So for me, it's the perfect time to do arts. And I guess having all these nights is what allowed me to do a lot of practice on art and put a lot of time into it and eventually get where I am. I love how he looks in the corner. He's just spinning there. We just have a spinning boy in the corner. It's like a fairy showing off their powers. I'll have to tweet at you if I end up making this guy as a D&D character. Yeah, do it. That'll be fun. I'd love to play some D&D set in, like, you know, early 20th century or late 19th century and have this little, you know, real world inspired setting. Like a record baby. I truly never know what to expect when I open a Val stream. Yeah, you gotta come in with with no expectations. Let yourself be surprised. And nicer versions of the Sisters of the Ever Sharpening Blade. It's not hurt you right away. Yeah, it's more of a our concept for these guys, for these doppelgangers, were that they're kind of like social parasites. Like they'll they'll imitate someone. They'll take someone's identity, and they'll kind of, you know, use either supplant high class people or children or sick people that will be taken care of by others, and essentially just like use that to keep feeding and keep living in as comfortably as they can without working ever. That's what they want, right? And they kind of live for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's really rare that one dies. Every time they get tired of an identity, or they stop being able to get their way in life, they'll just like disappear and kill another person and take their identity next, and just kind of hop from identity to identity. He's photoshopping you now. Yes. New VTuber just dropped. It's in the microwave. Oh yeah, the little smile at the end is fantastic. I love that the original has that, because it really changes with the context that it's now a doppelganger, like a shapeshifter. It kind of changes like now he's just smiling at himself. Ultimate sugar babies. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that was our concept of them. They're only dangerous if they want to take your identity, or you know, if they get bored of them, of their own identity, they'll just kill someone in that case, and then they'll consume them and become them. So I guess it would be related to many cases of like strange disappearances and that kind of thing. A little murder goes a long way to be taken care of. I love that. So yeah, that was our take on doppelgangers. So we will be seeing them from different perspectives. We have this little animation, which I think the context for it is going to be a photographer, you know, the photographer that created this technique of a turnstile and animations, quote unquote, kind of accidentally stumbling upon one of these doppelgangers and happening to photograph him in mid-transformation. Then we'll have a medical kind of medical sketches, or sketches from a doctor that found one of their skulls from one that did die, and does some sketches and tries to rationalize, like, oh, maybe this person had a strange affliction or whatever. And then maybe some kind of poster or pamphlet from a quote-unquote conspiracy theorist that is the only one, or one of the few people that believes in doppelgangers and is trying to warn the rest. Oh, doppelgangers exist, watch out for them. So I think that's the 3 things we're gonna do. We'll see if we do more, but that's essentially the vibe we're going for. Steampunk Max Headroom OC. What a specific thing, I love that. But yeah, just like a specific take on doppelgangers with a bit of a historical twist. Just like doing a take on a classic, I would say, which is something I love to do. You guys know, like, we've done werewolves, we've done a lot of cryptids, and I always try to take a little historical view, or put it in you know, put it in a context more than anything. So that's what we're doing. That is a cultural callback, yeah. How does the get constructive criticism tier work? So you put a link or a picture, something you've done, and I'll take a look at it and give you my honest thoughts. Who's Doppel and why is he ganging? Look at him ganging over here. Is this for some sort of projects you're working on? Yeah, what I've been talking about. That's just a little one-off thing for a collab with Luke Baker, which again, I will link to Luke's stuff in the chat, because he's a fantastically talented artist and I've wanted to work with him for a while, so this is just an opportunity to do so. We've been on sketches lately for the fanfic I'm working on. I just started getting back into colored pencils. Nice. So yeah, again, if you don't know Luke Baker, go give him a follow, go give him some love, because he's incredibly talented. So he's going to be doing, with his very special art style, he's going to be doing the medical sketches or that pamphlet. Maybe we'll do a little bit each for the pamphlet, we'll see. But that's the vibe. Anyway, I think we're gonna leave it at that for today. Jaime, if you got some constructive criticism, maybe you can drop it in the Discord on the feedback pits. I like to draw my ideas, and I'm working on filling out sketchbook pages every so often. Nice. Reveal them on Twitter in replies to memes people post. Post them to the Discord as well. That would be fun. Also, if any of you guys aren't on the Discord, this is a great moment to jump in. We just reached 1,000 people. We're gonna start doing some more like team activities. This month I'm just encouraging people to do Cryptid in July, because it's a really fun monthly challenge, but starting in August, we'll be doing maybe some bi-weekly or monthly like prompts and encourage people to do art based on them, based on unexplained phenomena. So with a found footage vibe, or with you know, unexplained phenomena vibe. It's always a fun thing to do art around. But yeah, go join the Discord. Really nice place. Gotta download the app on your laptop. I think you can watch it from, you can do it from the browser as well, Hammy, if you want. So that Luke retweeted your Fresno Nightcrawler. Can I drop my Fresno Nightcrawler original film in the chat? Yeah, sure. Hit us with it. Weekend at Fresno's? Nice. I'll give it a look right after the stream. Thank you. Guys, thank you very much. It is, as always, a pleasure to talk to you, and a pleasure to do little streams for y'all. Next week, my partner's parents are in town, so we might, the stream times might be a bit wobbly. I'll try to do all 3 Monday, Wednesday, and Friday streams as usual, but I might start a bit later if we're out for dinner with them or anything like that. So, you know, social obligations. So we might move around the stream slightly due to that. In any case, I will let you guys know on the Discord as usual. If you go to the Discord and go to the live stream portal channel, that's where I post all my, you know, stream news, if there is anything you guys should know. So just take a look at that if you're confused and don't see me streaming when I should. Otherwise, I'll try to keep it more or less the same as usual. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for streams. Jesus, you're back right as we're leaving, but you can see the result right there. Thank you so much, Mectal and Rose. Goodbye, everybody. It's good to see you. I will see you back on Monday. Until then, take care. You can't just do that while I'm leaving. Come on, thank you so much for the gifted subs. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to give some of those back. Right as I was about to leave. That's amazing timing. Stream snipe. We got sniped. Thank you so much, Jesus. Guys, enjoy your gifted subs. Everybody, thanks again. Now for real, I'm leaving. I'll see you Monday, guys.